It's a great Sunday evening at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Tonight, we've got the first points-paying race at this short track in 30 years. But it's hot. It's humid. It's going to get physical with 6 races to go to the chase.
Bale, he just looked better than everybody else during that practice, but Larson was able to kind of match him.
Last time we raced here for points, September 29th, 1996. What an awesome scene. A sellout crowd. They've come from all 50 states, and they're ready to watch NASCAR's best do battle at a track that was built in 1947. Pace cars in. Gibbs and Bell on the front row. It's time to go racing at North Wilkesboro. Bell right behind him, some distance back to Hocevar in third. Reddick is fourth, and Logano now inside the top right 5 there. As we focus on the 48 of Alex Bowman.
Yeah, Bowman's trying to get by this 42, squeezes him on the back straightaway. Let's look at this little replay right here, because some contact is. Bowman probably thought that was more his, the 42's fault, John Hunter Nemechek, and feels like he probably kind of came down on him right there. Not very happy about that. 42 struggling here, dropping back. Losing positions. Bottom's better on the tires this early in the race. Look at the 11. Trying to get around the 43. Little contact right there.
Look out. Toyota. Contact with another Toyota. And here comes Chase Elliott as we get our first caution of the night. John Hunter Nemechek around in the 42.
I wonder how that happened.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's see exactly what happens. Top of the screen. 38. Zane Smith into the left rear. Around you go.
Yeah, I wonder if Zane got down into the corner maybe and chased the back of the car up to correct maybe the back end moving around and gets into the side of the 42, spins him out.
Let's go back to pit stops here. And we'll focus on the 20 of Christopher Bell.
Yeah, stops are super, super fast. They've not done pit stops on this pit road with the entire field. Look at how quick and fast this is. Trying to get out of there. You got cars coming in their stalls, leaving their stalls, a 5 back on pit road. Danielle.
An issue for Kyle Larson. That last stop they took 2, exiting the stall, they hit their teammate, contact with the 88, with the 48 rather. They said, come back in, we have a wheel that is broken. Cliff Daniels is diagnosing it now. The call initially was to take 4 guys. Trouble for Kyle Larson after such a strong start.
Pretty busy. Okay, let's take a look right here on board with Logano. Excuse me, with
Oh,
Larson.
man, that's a hard one.
Smokes.
That was a hard hit.
Yeah,
88
broke.
The
88 is Zillage.
So the 88 is
Zillage.
Yeah, so the 88 is Zillage is likely there's some damage.
That was way harder than I expected.
Green again with 32 to go, stage 1.
SVG around the top there, being able to take over second position.
How about it? 97 up to second. Michael McDowell right in that mix as well in the 71. Varying strategies, changes where you are in the lineup, gives you some opportunities.
Every crew chief on pit road watching how the 11 is going to succeed versus the 97 on 2 tires.
Ty Gibbs up the racetrack with 3 wide down the back straightaway. Seabell to the inside. Ty Gibbs a rough couple of laps here. Trying to stop the bleeding as he's starting to, lose a few spots, having to fight, battle up front for the lead. SVG to the inside. Denny on the older tires.
I mean, we know what an ace this guy is when it comes to road course racing, but he has started to show real flashes on the ovals, and he's been very consistent when it comes to the short tracks. Muscle up from New Zealand, 97 inside, trying to take the race lead, and he's got it. How about that?
Impressive.
Bleeding. What the do I do now? I don't know. Coach 3.
What we're learning right now for the 11 team right now is risk versus reward, guys. I told you, Denny Hamlin told me he is not going to be conservative with that points lead. He is going to push it. There is no defense They decided to stay out even though he has his hands full with that car. Listen.
The tight initial throttle is killing me. Do you think we need to work on it? I mean, my gut was dogs was my gut. Copy. I don't know. It's kind of whatever you think.
I'm sure dogs is key word for, I don't know, stay out or come in, but they decided to stay out, and now he is losing track position, just trying to hang in that top 3.
You might say who let the dogs out, because they're coming from behind him. Hocevar Logano got those 4 tires, and they are there.
Yeah, Logano's making quick work. Look, 77 in a tough spot aerodynamically right there is going to allow the 22 to even up on the front straightaway.
And now for the race lead as we close on some lap traffic. 66 is Chad Fincham.
SVG has to run the bottom here around the lap car of Fincham. Little contact right there. Man. Gibbs dives to the bottom as well. Closes the gap just a little bit. 54's got a lot of speed as well. 22 of Joey Logano's closing in on this lead battle. Great run off the corner to the inside. SVG throws the block, but he overruns the corner, misses the bottom. Gibbs to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get under SVG. Here comes Logano with the momentum.
Shane Van Gisbergen leading laps on a short track for the first time in his career. He's 2.5 laps away from winning the stage, but he's got plenty of company. It's SVG, it's Ty Gibbs, it's Joey Logano. Going to be 2 remaining stage 1.
Ty just can't roll the center of the corner well enough to get to the top of that 97 car. He'll try it down here again in 1 and 2.
Oh, this is getting good.
and hey, keep an eye on this.
He's there.
Because it could be a preview of what we'll see at the end of the night. So reminiscent of what we saw last spring in the All-Star race. Going to be 1 to go in the stage. It continues to be SVG, Gibbs, Logano, 1, 2, 3.
SVG being very defensive, throwing some blocks. Ty Gibbs to the outside now.
SVG shuts him down, pushes him out. Can Gibbs get there side by side for the lead and a stage victory here at North Wilkesboro? 54 power move. Ty Gibbs takes it in stage 1.
As our stage 1 winner, Ty Gibbs, speeding on pit road. He'll restart stage 2 at the tail end of the longest line.
Officially, his teammate Ross Chastain does get the free pass back on the lead lap. Gibbs comes from the back here, so that means Logano and SVG on the front row.
Christopher Bell back to 18th, spent 16 seconds on his pit stop working on the right front corner. We'll give you an update exactly what happened to the 20 car, but he's now outside the top 15.
Logano, the control car, as the leaders come through the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Side by side for the lead, side by side for third. A lot of 2x2 as you go back through the field.
And SVG's done a good job just to get back up underneath this 22 car Logano. Almost leading that lap right there, possibly leading it side by side down into turn 1 and 2.
Hocevar jumps up in front of Hamlin for third. 97, not quite clear for the lead.
And he might get it down here in turns 3 and 4. Logano's going to have to fight hard on corner exit. SVG's clear.
Slight bobble off the corner, but he's able to get up in front of Logano. Dives in front of him into the corner. Shane Van Gisbergen back on point.
Battle for the lead still pretty hot and heavy right here. As the 22 starting to move up even higher on the racetrack. And look at the speed he generates down the straightaway. 23 above Wallace trying to take a position away from his owner, Denny Hamlin.
You know, Hamlin falling a bit here, but we got to celebrate Wallace, who took 2 tires when they made their pit stop at the end of stage 1. He was 21st and now finds himself inside the top 5.
How about Logano now? Now instead of the diamond, he's just going to roll the high exit and try to get to the right rear of the 97.
Got a pretty good run right here down the back straightaway. A little defensive for SVG. We've seen that before. 22 to the outside. Can he stay there in throttle? He can. Down the front straightaway. 22's got the position. So it'll be a pretty easy pass to make for the 22 Logano off of turn 2 down the back straightaway.
That last time around was 48 laps led for Shane Van Gisbergen. That's the most tonight. But it's now Joey Logano in that outside lane that puts the 22 on point. Starting to see some green flag pit stops. We just talked about it,
Yeah,
Steve.
Bell a little on the early side. We saw some of that brake temp. He's coming in. Oh, the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger made huge contact, broke the right rear suspension. I think that was in the entry to turn 1. He got up high into the fence.
Yeah, he was fighting really, really hard to keep. He was fighting really, really hard to stay on the lead lap on the outside of the 22 here. Let's watch him get down into turn 1.
Oh, man.
Bam.
Wow.
And he'd done a really good job to stay right there for several laps. Joey was having a hard time getting by. But you're pushing hard. You're pushing harder than your car wants to go, asking it to do things it doesn't want to do.
Oh, this is the problem. Big stack up. Looks like cars are maybe trying to come to pit road. The 45 of Reddick, 48 of Bowman involved. Oh, you think about Byron and those cars, Chase Elliott, that were on pit road. This is going to be a huge problem for their night inside the top 15, 12th and 13th. And we're going to see the 4 exiting pit lane up on the racetrack, but everything's going 5. Oh, the 48
is trying to get to pit road.
Yes, sir. 48's coming from the top lane across traffic, gets caught by the 45.
Contact right there with the inside wall, but yeah, that was just.
Reddick has to say about that.
Yeah.
Here you go. Top of your screen. Just a 48 just turns across. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
I know the 48's trying to come, but it's your responsibility. You just can't exit from the fast lane, and he's on the top of the racetrack turning left across the 45. Reddick has no idea.
We haven't had green flag pit stops at North Wilkesboro in 30 years, so I don't know that these guys knew exactly what to do. And there's a 7 car of.
Yeah, he was stuck, so he was probably committed. Maybe the pit road was closed. NASCAR's just going to have to see what that is.
His team's telling him to stay out, stay out, stay out. So.
Oh, here we go. Watch this. Listen. We heard earlier about spotter communication. There was concern. We don't know if maybe the noise got him. Oh, this is going to be frustrating if you're a Reddick fan.
I just don't think you can come to the top of the racetrack to enter pit road in turn 3.
Ware and Briscoe take the wave around to the lead lap, so they're just outside. They're right there in the 14th, 15th position, and a number of cars waving to 1 lap down.
Good break for the 7 of Suarez. The rule is if you're below the orange box, you are committed to pit road. As we spin this forward, you're going to see he's clearly below it, but the 48 sliding to his left, crashing into the wall. NASCAR is ruling that the 7 was avoiding the accident, the spinning 48. Therefore, it wasn't a penalty. We'll see what the garage thinks about it. The rule was if you go below the orange box, you have to come to pit road. He was, but NASCAR going to give him the benefit of the doubt for the coming 48 cars spinning behind him.
And because they weren't caught in the cycle of stops, they got track position, restarting inside the top 10. Logano, Hamlin out front.
It's been a busy 5 or 7 minutes here between racing, wrecking, and scoring.
Yeah, you got a lot of cars now trying to race on the lead lap. Half the field's a lap down trying to race for the free pass. Oh, we got a car around. Josh Berry gets tagged. Christopher Bell slid up the racetrack into the door of the 21.
Caution number 4.
Just talking about a car that needed a good run.
So Josh, top of the racetrack, headed down the back straightaway. A little contact here with the 5 and the 20. 3 wide. You got Briscoe on the outside. See Bell down in the middle of the corner, just gets loose right there and corrects up into the side of the 21. And unfortunately, that's a pretty hard hit for Josh into the outside wall.
The left front concerning because it spins around and kind of momentum's in.
Great break for Ty Gibbs, who will get the free pass.
Raced his tail off to get into that position and was there when the caution came out. And for Berry, just on the wrong end of it because they had made the pit stop. When they're running inside the top 15, you lose a lap. You're back there running in the middle of the mess.
That's been the season for that 21.
Front row for the restart. Logano, Hamlin. Logano, the control car. Row 2, Shane Van Gisbergen and Ryan Blaney. Here we go again. Shane Van Gisbergen working the outside lane. Racing there with Hamlin.
And 97's got good short run speed. He was on a little bit of a tire deficit to the 22 earlier in the race. Denny right to the back bumper, beating on the back bumper. The 97 is going to let the 77 of Hocevar go around. Another car with some good short run speed here, Steve.
He does. He has good fire off speed. Here comes the 12 of Blaney. His kind of a ascension to the front continues. Started all the way in the back after being the pole sitter from the metric. Here he is inside the top 5.
Second place battle still raging on. One thing I see about Denny Hamlin, though, is we talked about it earlier. He doesn't really push the car hard at the start of the run. Allows a couple cars to go by. He doesn't really run the car too hard. He doesn't accelerate too hard off the corner. And as we get into the run, we hear a lot of drivers talking about the rear grip going away. It's heat related. It's not really wear. It's heat. And so if you abuse the tire, it quits. It doesn't want to adhere to the track as well. So Denny's really, really smart about just driving the car smooth and straight, keeping the tips down in the tire, keeping the car working. And here he is, working himself around the 97 car comfortably.
Hamlin looking outside of SVG here. This is the race for third. And as he completes the pass, I take us back before we went green tonight, and I said, what are you guys watching in this race? A little follow-up to those stories here.
Yeah, the fatigue, I think it's real. We're hearing some drivers that are really struggling with the temperature.
Bubba Wallace to the outside of the 97 car down in turn 3 and 4. Bubba's showing some good speed here late in this stage. A couple of laps to go, and he's going to be able to take the spot away. Lap traffic just ahead could play a role.
Had that penalty on the final lap last week at Atlanta, so they didn't have a great starting position. But Bubba has been able to drive through the field. Final lap of the stage. And we pick up Logano down the back straightaway. And the gaggle in front of him.
And Byron's another one of those cars that's already one lap down. Him and Chase Elliott. A second lap is just such a tall task. They're up to figure it out and stay just in front of Logano.
First stage victory of 2026 for Joey Logano. Front row, Logano, Hamlin. Final stage underway at North Wilkesboro.
Denny to the inside here. Let's see if he can try to fight this 22. Nobody's really been able to do much with Logano. Joey gets him a little bit tight right there down into turn 3 and 4. Trying to stay on that left rear quarter panel. Joey gets to the inside. He's like, I don't like it. I want to be down here.
Now Hamlin says, I'll go outside. Dogfight for third. Briscoe, Bubba going at it.
And Denny's running pretty hard here trying to see what his car is capable of.
I think he's just concerned. The 22 controlled that last run and drove away from the field.
Yep.
Denny's probably trying to figure something out. Maybe he could push him early, get him to burn his stuff up. All right, they're a lap apart on the right hand. Denny Hamlin leaving under speed. The left hand 22 of Joey Logano slowly has to continue his way down pit road. Denny Hamlin now into 3 and 4. Joey Logano still about a third of pit road to go. We will see who is most successful. Hamlin will hammer down into turn 1. He will see Joey Logano on the left side of the screen. It's going to be a pretty close blend, but I think Joey Logano might keep it, or will it be momentum for Hamlin?
Lap car is there with Chastain. Logano gets back on the gas, pulls up in front of the 11.
Now Hamlin, though, has a half a lap going. He'll try to run the 22 down as pit stops continue. Marty Blaney on pit road.
Much better pace for Ryan Blaney on this run. In fact, for the first time tonight, kind of swung too tight for Ryan Blaney. Pitting here, we'll see where he cycles out, running in the top 5 pretty much that entire run.
Yeah, he was 5th, so we'll see if he can jump either Briscoe or Wallace, who were 3rd and 4th prior. Oh, and we got a penalty on Ryan Blaney, speeding on the pit lane. Out front of Denny Hamlin, going to be 25 laps to go next time around.
Good little battle right here, developing for 4th place. As Ty Gibbs has closed the gap to the 97 of SVG down the back straightaway. SVG trying to hang on to this position, having an incredible night here.
I talked to SVG earlier, brought up winning the truck race yesterday. He said nothing really translates, obviously, but the one thing he did say, when he made that run up inside the top 5 late, he felt like he did learn something, and when things weren't going their way in practice yesterday, he applied it and felt like it paid some dividends. We've seen it here tonight with all the stage points and a really good opportunity to finish up front as Gibbs gets by for fourth.
Little hip check, and SVG's going to try to drive it down in there and give it back. Couldn't get to him.
2 laps to go, that time by.
Well, 45 starts since the last time. You hope Joey has his family here, his growing family, to celebrate this with.
1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. Logano through turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Legends built this place, and a 3-time champion is going to win here tonight. Joey Logano, first career victory of the season comes at North Wilkesboro.